history, education was only available to the upper classes. The most powerful and wealthy have always considered education to be the greatest enemy. And it is for its own good reason. The masses were less troublesome if they were kept ignorant and uneducated, especially the working class and slaves. Time passes, world changes. The opportunity has become to each and everyone. Knowledge and wisdom are all around us, and everything you desire to learn is within your reach. The issue with present students is that they solely focus on the academic performance. I understand that, and the students are not to blame. The entire education system is built incorrect. It mentally forces students to focus on their grades. Now, let's take a deep breath and accept a new mentality. Education is a lifelong journey. The learning never stops. There are always new things to discover, new ways to improve ourselves, and new challenges to face. Stay childlike curious. Keep on learning everything, every day, any time, for the rest of your life. For rightly has it been said, learning never exhausts the mind. It is of paramount importance mastering the fundamentals prior to acquiring the system. 1. Sleep matters. I think you understand that the quality of your sleep affects the every aspects of your life, especially when it comes to studying. So prioritize not only sleeping for 7 to 8 hours, but also getting up and catching some of these at the same time, consistently. 2. Physical activity. A healthy mind comes from a healthy body. Physical activity is an essential part of the healthy study routine. By incorporating regular exercise into your schedule, given that it increases blood flow to the brain, you are assured to have enhanced cognitive function, boosted energy levels, improved mood and motivation, all of which can contribute to the more effective studying and academic success. Weightlifting, calisthenics, boxing or grappling, or simply doing yoga to your liking. 3. Digital well-being. Apart from its negative impacts to your studying, for your peace of mind, please stop that. Life is too short. People making it even shorter by immersing themselves in social media. Hey, it dejects me. Enjoy the endless marvels of this world. I will help you to do so. Kill your phone addiction. First and last, download family link to your parent's phone. This might seem like walking to death with your own legs to you. Yet again, it is the only way to get rid of that unbreakable addiction. Depending on circumstances, you could do that with or without the parents knowing. Either way is fine, as long as you stay true to yourself. Thereby, I will conclude the class up to this point. It is worth noting that most of us don't have academic problems. We have lifestyle problems that manifest themselves on our academic performance. It is not that you lack concentration, it is that the way you live, your lifestyle, destroys attention span. As James Clay says, the problem isn't you. The problem is your system. then think, how absurd is it to wonder, how do I focus on my studies while getting 9 to 10 hours of screen time per day? The system is primarily designed for auditory students. In other words, students who learn by hearing and listening. If you've been a podcast listener for a while, then consider yourself as one with no hesitation. I aim not to take too much time explaining the system. So straight up, I'm going to offer an action step line. Step 1. Sit in front of the classroom. That is that, to make the next step possible, which is step 2. Record classes with voice recorder. Of course, you are going to ask for teacher's permission. Be respectful. During classes, you may or may not take notes. I personally don't. My teacher has a tendency to explain things so fast that it makes it hard for me to take notes while I'm listening. I would rather play the recording and concentrate on every word that comes out from my teacher's mouth instead of taking messy, quick, hard to read notes. Okay, now I'm home. I open the copybook, there is nothing. I open the voice recorder app, there is a treasure. And now the real studying section begins. Step 3. Skim the textbook. Your main goal in this step is not to understand concepts or anything. It is to identify necessary information and underlining them with a pencil. The fact that about half of the material of the textbook is unnecessary. Let's not waste time on that. We are better than that. And here's a question arises. How can I identify the exact information I might actually come across in the exam? There are probably several ways to do that, and what works best for me is that I simply ask the teacher by the end of the lesson. Mr. Bruda, do you think this one is important to know? I consider this to that extent simplest yet sharpest way to get rid of useless stuff. Step 4. Play the recording. As you have thrown everything pointless out the window, you start to realize that, oh, there are actually less things to learn. Oh, I actually can do it. That hyped up, next up, you're going to play the recording and take notes. It might feel like as if you're taking class for the second time, but do you realize what an excellent advantage you have this time? You can pause the classes. You can pause the classes to practice applied information and take notes along. Most importantly, in slow pace. Isn't it great? And don't forget about the Filtrated from Useless Information textbook. You should take notes from that too, in case your teacher has made it in time to explain everything. Step 5. Rerecording. After we have taken all the notes, it is time for us to remember. It is your turn to speak and record it on a voice recorder. The point is that the recording you made in class is excessively long and contains a lot of numerous moments of whether complete silence or loud noises. Oh, that makes sense. Then what is its relationship to remembering? If you ask me, grab your iPods and listen actively to the recording you made on the way to the school. That is much shorter and quicker. But bear in mind to actively recall every time as you finish listening to the audio. Peace. Ooh.